The president has said Jack Smith should go to jail. Will you investigate Jack Smith?
Senator, I haven't seen the file. I haven't seen the investigation. I haven't looked at anything. It would be irresponsible of me to make a commitment regarding anything without, you're a long practicing attorney, without looking at a file.
So you would need a factual predicate to open an investigation of Jack Smith, is that right?
Not a summary by you sitting here. Yes, sir.
And not a summary by the president either, right?
Absolutely.
What's up, Patriots? Welcome back to Right View Nation, where we don't bend the knee to the radical left, and we don't let corrupt politicians gaslight the American people. I'm your host, your unapologetic voice for freedom, common sense, and truth. Now, folks, buckle up, because what I'm about to break down for you is one of the most disgraceful, unhinged, and flat-out disrespectful displays I've ever seen in a congressional hearing. I just watched the so-called questioning of Pam Bondi, a solid, conservative legal mind, former Florida Attorney General, and a fierce defender of law and order. And let me tell you, Adam Schiff embarrassed himself more than usual. And that's saying something, considering this man built his career on lies, witch hunts, and wasting taxpayer dollars on political theater. Oh boy, there he is again, trying to sound like the conscience of America. But let's call it like it is. Schiff's only agenda is to protect the corrupt political elite, harass President Trump, and destroy anyone who threatens the left's grip on power.
So a summary by the president or his desire to investigate Jack Smith would not be enough for you to open an investigation of Jack Smith, is that right?
I will look at the facts and evidence in any case. And sitting here
today,
Senator, 72% of Americans
I only have
have
7
lost
minutes.
faith in the Department of Justice.
Sitting here today, are you aware of any factual predicate to investigate Jack Smith? Sitting here today, yes or no?
Senator, I will look at the facts and the circumstances.
You can't answer that question.
Brought to me.
You're not a part of the department yet. There's no worry about divulging
I'm sitting
law
here as a
enforcement
nominee.
sensitive information. So just tell us, are you aware? Just tell us, are you aware of a factual predicate to investigate Jack Smith? Yes or no?
Senator, what I'm hearing on the news is
Are you aware of
horrible. Do I know if he committed a crime? I have not looked
You seem reluctant to answer a simple question. Let me ask you a different simple question. The president also wants to jail Liz Cheney. Sitting here today, are you aware of any factual basis to investigate Liz Cheney? Yes or no?
Senator, that's a hypothetical, and I'm not going to answer that question.
No, it's not hypothetical. I'm asking you, sitting here today, whether you are aware of a factual predicate to investigate Liz Cheney.
Senator, no one has
Based on what
asked
you
me
know.
to investigate Liz Cheney. That is a hypothetical.
The president has called for it publicly. You are aware of that, aren't you?
No one has asked me to investigate.
But the president
Liz.
has
We're
called,
also worried about Liz Cheney,
the
Senator.
president has
You know what
called
we
for
should
this.
be worried about?
Ms. Bondi,
The
please
crime rate
answer
in
my questions.
California right now
You
is
are aware,
through the roof.
Ms. Bondi,
Your robberies are
Bondi,
87% higher than the national average.
My question is this.
That's what I want to be focused on, Senator.
Do you have the power to say no to the president?
General.
And what you're suggesting today by your non-answer is you don't have the independence to say no to the president. So let me ask you a different question. It also requires you, if you're going to be a good attorney general, to be able to tell hard truths to the president. So my questions now are, can you tell hard truths to the president? So let me start with an easy truth that you could speak to the president. Can you tell us, can you tell him that Donald Trump lost the 2020 election? Can you say that? Do you have the independence to say that? Do you have the gravitas, the stature, the intestinal fortitude to say, Donald Trump, you lost the 2020 election? Can you tell us that here today?
Senator, what I can tell you is I will never play politics. You're trying to engage me in a gotcha. I won't do it. I won't play politics with any ongoing investigation,
so let me ask you another,
like you did leaking your colleague Devin Nunes's memo.
If you can't answer the question, let me ask you a different, what should be a simple truth, not a hard one. Was there massive fraud affecting the result of the 2020 election, yes or no?
Senator, I'm glad you asked that question, if you'll let me answer what I saw in Pennsylvania.
No, I asked a simple question about massive fraud.
I can only tell you what I saw in Pennsylvania.
I know you want to answer a different question, but my question is, can you tell us whether there was massive fraud affecting the results of the 2020 election, yes or no? Was there or was there not?
I can tell you what I saw when I went as an advocate to the campaign.
That's not my question. So you can't answer that question. You can't speak that even easy truth to us, let alone to the president. So let me ask you a different question. It will also be important that you give good advice to the president. Are you prepared to advise the president not to pardon people who beat police officers?
Senator, as I said, the pardons are at the direction of the president. We will look and we will advise. I will look at every case on a case.
so
Let me finish. On a case-by-case basis.
Okay, good.
And I abhor violence to police officers.
Follow up with that. So will it be your advice to the president, Mr. President, I know you said you want to issue hundreds of pardons on day one. Will it be your advice to the president? No, Mr. President, I need to go over them on a case-by-case basis. Do not issue blanket pardons. Will that be your advice to the president?
Senator, I have not looked at any of those files. If confirmed, I will look at the files
And
for
will
the
you be able to
pardons, as well
will
as
you
the
be able to
ongoing
review
investigation.
hundreds of cases on day one?
I will look at every file I am
Of
asked
course you
to
won't.
look
So
at.
will you advise the
Hey,
president?
can I
will
answer
you-
the question?
Well, my question
I
is-
would have plenty of staff. You said, of course you want.
You'll be able to review
Listen, I'm
hundreds
not
of
going to
cases on the first
mislead
day?
this body nor you.
All right, let me ask another question. You don't want to answer that. Let me ask
You were
another question.
censured by
It will
Congress, Senator, for
it will
comments just
also-
like this that
it
are
will
so reckless.
It will also be important for you to be able to preserve the records, the evidence of the department. Are you ready to commit that none of the evidence in the January 6th investigation will be destroyed under your watch?
Senator, I will follow the law. I will consult with ethical officials in the
Do you
department.
see any ethical basis to destroy evidence in the January 6th investigation? Then why can't you answer the question? Why can't you say, I commit to this committee, we will never destroy the evidence in the January 6th investigation? Why can't you give this committee and the American people that assurance?
Are you frightened because evidence was destroyed against President Trump that was false? Is that why you're
Why do
frightened
you
now?
have
I can't
difficulty?
believe this is even.
Why do you have difficulty answering that question?
I can't believe
Why
you're
do you have
asking such a
difficulty?
question.
Why do you have difficulty promising to preserve evidence at the Department of Justice? Why is that a difficult question?
I will follow the law.
It shouldn't be a difficult question.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Ms. Bondi, I know that you are pleased that we are moving to the end of round one, and we appreciate your being here.
So here we have Schiff grilling Pam Bondi, trying to trap her with yes or no questions that are loaded, twisted, and meant to serve a narrative rather than seek the truth. This wasn't a hearing. This was a political ambush. Schiff didn't want answers. He wanted a soundbite. First off, let's talk about the real issue. He's furious that the Supreme Court dared to uphold the constitutional powers of the presidency, especially when those powers aren't being abused by Democrats. Suddenly, the left acts like checks and balances are a threat when they don't get to control them. He kept asking Pam Bondi if she would investigate Jack Smith, you know, the special counsel who's been hell-bent on targeting Trump. And guess what? She didn't fall into his trap. She said what any responsible legal mind should say: I will look at the facts. Not headlines, not political pressure, not Adam Schiff's opinions. That's how justice works, folks. We don't jail people because a politician says so. That's what banana republics do. That's what the left wants, weaponized justice that serves their ideology. Then he pressed her about whether she'd say Trump lost the 2020 election. Another trap, because it's not about fact. It's about submission. They want Republicans to bow down and repeat their narrative or be labeled traitors. And when Bondi didn't play along, Schiff lost it, raised his voice, acted like she committed a crime by not playing his stupid political game. Well, Schiff, I can't believe you're still in office. After lying about Russia collusion for years, after leaking classified info to your media cronies, you want to talk about truth? Now let's be clear. What Pam Bondi said was simple. I won't play politics. I will follow the law. I'll review every case on its own merit. That's how the justice system is supposed to work. But Schiff didn't want that. He wanted her to promise she'd act like Merrick Garland, who's turned the DOJ into a political attack dog. Schiff wanted her to promise she'd persecute Trump supporters, ignore the Constitution, and preserve the Democrat narrative. And get this, he even asked her if she would preserve January 6 evidence. As if Pam Bondi is some villain out to burn files in a back room, she said again she would follow the law, because that's what honest leaders do. This is what's really going on, folks. The radical left is terrified of losing power. They know Trump is rising again. They know the American people are wide awake, and they're desperate to stop anyone who stands in the way. They've tried censorship, FBI raids, phony indictments, and now they're trying to bully anyone who might serve in the next Trump administration. Pam Bondi? She's exactly what we need more of. Calm under pressure, smart, tough, and unshakably committed to doing what's right, not what's politically correct. This hearing was a joke, but it revealed everything. Schiff and the Democrats don't care about justice. They care about power. They'll smear, lie, and attack anyone who dares to stand up for America first. So to every patriot watching, don't be discouraged. Be fired up. We're not going to let these clowns control our country. We need to support leaders like Pam Bondi. We need to back candidates who put America before politics. And most of all, we need to make America great again. Because this is our foundation. Not Schiff's games, not the media's lies, not the deep state's agenda, the Constitution, freedom, law and order, and God-given rights. Thanks for watching Right View Nation. Hit that like button, share this video, and drop a comment below if you're sick and tired of the left's double standards. Subscribe if you're ready to fight back with facts, fire, and freedom. God bless you, God bless Pam Bondi, and God bless the United States of America.